What's going on, amigos? It's Dean from Full Circle Landscape Solutions, and we're back with another episode of Full Circle Weekly. Cool intro. All right, so what we got going on this week is a little story I want to tell you quick because I want to provide value to what the title says. So I learned something about leadership today. Obviously, I'm doing my best to learn a lot about it, listen to a lot of Jocko Willink, and a lot of just books and on management and looking at videos and all that kind of stuff, Simon Sinek, all that good stuff. But today, there was a little altercation between two guys. I'm sure it was nothing major. They kind of haven't been getting along as much as, I would expect. Not expect, actually. There's a little bit of headbutting. I think it's probably going to be normal. Growing the company, having new guys that aren't always, get along or trying to prove themselves or any kind of stuff, just rub off the wrong way. So what happened was, long story short, one of the guys finished up cutting a lawn, and I took one of the blowers to a property on the street, so we only have two blowers on the truck. The other guy was blowing off the lawn. One guy just was kind of standing there because all the stuff was full, and there was not really a lot he could do. He didn't sit in the truck, which is, we don't do that. When we're done a property, we always stand outside the truck. But finished the property, was standing there, kind of twiddling his thumbs, and the other guy came over and kind of just said something to him, and it kind of rubbed him the wrong way, so he came and talked to me. What I did, which was wrong, I went and brought them both up, and I was like, hey guys, we're one team here, and just had this little talk with them, and it made it way worse. They both kind of got annoyed at each other, said their things, and moved on, and I was like, So I kind of let it lie, and I thought about it, and I didn't fix it, but here's what I'm going to do. Well, here's what I'm going to do for the future. Here's how I should have handled that, I believe. And this is obviously, I believe, I haven't done it like this yet, but what I should have done is when he talked to me, when one of the guys came up to me, he was standing there and said, hey, we had a little altercation, or he kind of talked to me, what I should have said was, hey, look, do you think maybe he was just, a little bit upset because, he was working hard, he just pictured you standing there. Obviously, there's not a lot you can do. Did you kind of explain to him what you were doing, what you were thinking, and just kind of talk about that with him and kind of just let him know that. And then when he was like, oh, yeah, it might have just been like that. Once he got to that point, I was like, oh, I understand where he was coming from. Then I should have went later in the day, at the end of the day, maybe, talk to the other, because it's, it's Friday weekend, he has all weekend to just kind of blow over it. But they've been like, hey, just, it did upset him a little bit that you kind of said that. I would just say it in a nicer way next time, or try to, see from his perspective, there's not a lot he could do there. And I just handle it like that. The way I fixed my mistake in the moment was I let it simmer for the next couple lawns, just because, I didn't want to just keep harping on it and amping everybody up. So kind of let it simmer, let all the tensions come down between them. And then individually, like when one was doing something else, I just grabbed each one. I was like, hey, just so you know, I blame it on myself, because that way they're not going to get mad at me, but they can kind of take the blame off looking at each other and kind of point it towards me. And so I just said, hey, I handled that incorrectly. What I should have done is said, and I just told them what I told you guys, just said, hey, I should have done X, Y, Z, what I said. I'll do that for next time, but, just be mindful of, and then what I still told you guys, just be mindful of, that we are one team and that we really want to handle it. And then I basically told each of them something to work on with the other one. So I said, one guy, I said, hey, look, I basically told one guy, I said, hey, look, I want you to focus on making sure that that you're being a team player with this guy. I know you want to have a career here. I know you want to move up here, and I think you can. I think you will. And he showed a bunch of other times today that he's a fantastic leader, really picking it up. But said, hey, I need you to show you're a leader here. And I actually really said that message to both guys. But I need you to show you can work with other people and get along well. So that was huge. And then the other thing I said to them individually was just that I want you to focus on showing this person your skill of efficiency. The one guy who kind of told them, like, hey, what are you doing? Of efficiency, you're just doing something. The other guy said, hey, I want you to show him your skill. Well, he's really, really good, really beautiful at weed whacking. He has just really good routing and just really quick about it and makes it look perfect. His edges are really nice. So I said, hey, why don't you show him this? Show him your thing. And basically that gave them both something to show each other and work on with each other, and they could both and the other guy's really good at mowing, so they kind of work. That's a good team right there. But kind of show each other what they're good at, and that way they are working together towards a goal instead of kind of working apart and trying to help each other. So yeah, just a little thing for leadership right there. A little tidbit at the end of this video, because little thing at the end of this video is we did hire a videographer, which is going to be awesome. So if you stayed this long to watch all this, you now know this. We have a videographer coming. His name is CJ. He's going to be starting in 2 weeks, beginning of in 2 weeks, I guess. So he'll be starting. Today is the 20th. It's like 10 o'clock. Starting on the 30th, on the 30th of the month. So then we'll have him come in. He'll be taking care of 3 different things, or 3 different or maybe 4, really 3 different pillars of our company that we're going to start having him record content on. Is the first pillar is going to be the documented, or we'll start this way. The first pillar is going to be the marketing for the company. So videos like montages for things, and client newsletter videos, and like how to DIY project things for clients so they can see how to do their own stuff, because I love that. That type of stuff, right? Second pillar is going to be starting my personal channel, and just really continuing this personal channel we got going on here, and personal brand, and just documenting. We're not going to do a lot of creating. I don't want to be one of the guys that sits up there and says, you need to do this, because I don't have that much experience. I mean, I have a decent amount, but I don't have that much experience in business where I want to tell you what to do, because I don't think it's right for me to tell you unless I really do know, and I'm really confident in my beliefs. So it's just going to be a lot of documenting, kind of like the weekly show where it's actually videoing weekly, kind of what we're doing. With other shows kind of in between. I haven't really figured out what we're going to do there. And then the third thing we're going to be doing is kind of splits into 2 little A-B of the third thing, is going to be business podcast and then personal podcast. The difference is going to be the business podcast is going to be interviewing, sorry, my nose is itchy. I'm interviewing local businesses. So like there's just off the top of my head, there's like local pizza shops and local like I don't know, ice cream places, and local, that's food based, other local service businesses, places that have like a name brand in this area and that people know about and can talk about, because 1, it's good for that business, and that they're like coming on for free, just hanging out for a little bit. We'll take all the stuff, send it to them so they can post it wherever they want with the interview. Also, we can post it and send it to all of our clients and our leads, and hopefully start, and like all the local newspapers and stuff, so hopefully start to get traction in the area for marketing, or they can watch. They'll be recorded. It'll be broken up into all these different pieces for the podcast, which will be really cool, and like broken out with like the Gary Vee content model, and then same content model stuff. But we're gonna also do a personal podcast interviewing like other. I don't know what we're gonna call it yet, but just interviewing other business owners in the area, or not even in this area, but other business owners around that aren't particularly popular in the area, and or mainly even the same people but different questions. So the one would be questions like, oh, how did you get started? Or, oh, I don't know, what's the best thing you offer? What's your bread and butter? Like, what's something that clients love about you? Like, kind of more whatever, soft, whatever, easy questions that people can just answer rapid fire. A lot of a marketing thing for them, for us. And then just going a little bit into their backstory type thing, people like that, and a little bit like what the future business looks like, people like that as well, in a more surface level way. And then we're going to have the second one, which is going to be the personal podcast, which is going to be like really diving deep into like, hey, business struggles, business problems, cash flow, where are you going to go? Why are you going there? What's your thoughts? And not hammering on them, but just getting very deep conversationally, and also talking more about their how that relates to the business and the numbers and profit margins, if they'll share it, and like gross profits, and all that stuff, if they'll share it on air. We'll see. But and like number of employees, all that stuff. So yeah, it's pretty much what we got in the pipeline for the future. I'm excited. I think it'll be a really good step for us, moving in the right direction. And yeah, have an awesome night, guys. Peace.